Hello my loves, it is Caché. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the 7 things I wish I knew before coloring my hair. Okay, and I figured I'd show you guys what my hair looks like now. It's brushed out at the moment, so you probably can't get the full effect, but this is what it looks like. I've highlighted about twice so far. I did it once in 2018 and then one the beginning of this year actually. So I've done it twice so far. Through these processes, have just learned a whole lot about what it takes to care for dyed hair and all the things that I wish I knew before I ventured into this new journey. And I thought, why not share with you guys? Just a few disclaimers. I am not a licensed hair professional in any way, shape, or form. These are all just things that I've noticed based upon my experiences. You might be a little bit different. The people you know might be a little bit different, and that's okay. I'm just speaking from my personal experiences with dyeing my hair. And not only that, I know that the things I wish I knew kind of gives a connotation that I regret my decision, but I do not. I completely am very happy with how my hair looks right now and the color that it is and the health of it right now. I just wish that before I dyed it, I took extra precautions because it would have made it a little bit easier to transition into having dyed hair. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I wish I knew before I dyed my hair is that you shouldn't dye damaged hair. If you guys have been following me for a little while, you'll know that I had severe heat damage. I'll insert a picture here so you can see. It was bad. By the first time I dyed my hair, had already gone through most of my mini chops. I'd done I think 5 at that time, and my hair was about 80% where it needed to be. I figured, you know what? I've always wanted to dye my hair. I want something different. I've been doing what I needed to for about 2 years now. Let me just, you know, get a change going, switch it up a little bit. Looking back now though, I really wish that I waited until my hair was 100% like at its prime before dyeing my hair. Although most of my hair was back to normal, I still had some wavy pieces where it didn't need to be wavy at all. And honestly, once I dyed my hair, those pieces struggled. Like, they were a lot worse than when I started off. Of course, my other curls were okay, the ones that were fine and doing a lot better. They bounced back a lot quicker, but those pieces that were already lagging behind did not do their thing. Eventually, I had to cut those pieces off, and it was a very, very, very stressful experience for me as a new natural. You just want to make sure that your hair is as healthy as it can be. You don't want to be adding on extra damage because it won't bounce back as quickly. If your hair is already damaged, you're going to have more complications. That's just what it is. Yeah, just make sure that you hold off until your hair is in a healthier state, because you don't want to just put damage on top of damage. It will only get worse, and it's not worth it, I promise. Now, the next thing I wish I knew before dyeing my hair is that I needed to prep before dyeing. Now, I kind of had an idea that I wanted to strengthen my hair before I dyed it, but I didn't really know how, and I didn't look into how I could do it either. All I did was like deep conditioned a couple of days before, but reach out to your stylist, ask them what they suggest for you, and let them know that, hey, my hair is curly, I'm prepping for my hair to be dyed or bleached or whatever you want to do. What do you suggest? Do you suggest that I wash it before? Because I know a lot of stylists have different opinions regarding that, but listen to who's doing your hair. Do whatever you can to prep and make sure that your hair is in its healthiest state and is optimal. Like, I'm going to continue saying this because curly hair and coily hair, if you didn't know, our hair is gonna be a little bit drier. It's a little bit more brittle, and it's delicate. You need to take care of it. You need to make sure that you set yourself up for the best possible outcome. Now, the next thing that I wish I knew before dyeing my curly hair is that your curl pattern may change. And it's actually pretty likely that it will change in some way. I remember when I got my hair highlighted for the first time, I really loved the color. The color was exactly what I wanted. I walked out of the salon and I looked in the mirror and I realized, oh my gosh, like, the pieces that were colored were just limp and not curling and not doing the thing it needed to. Like, my regular virgin hair was, you know, springing, doing its thing, shrinking, but not the dyed pieces. And that was terrifying. Of course, you hear about this a lot, like everybody says it. If you dye your hair, your curl pattern may change, but personally, I just thought that, you know, I'm a little different. My hair is really thick, my hair is strong, it's been through more things. It can survive, it'll be fine. Like, it barely likes to take color anyway. It probably won't work. But no, it worked. But my hair looked scary afterwards. I think I went through at least 15 different blogs after I stepped out of the salon, just making sure this was normal and that I'd be okay and that it could possibly recover in some way, because after going through heat damage, I didn't want to go through color damage. Of course, it's fairly normal for your hair to change up, especially immediately after. After a few weeks, it did bounce back, but just being prepared for that helped so much. The next thing that I wish I knew is that you may not get the color that you want in just one session. Now, I always went in not wanting highlights, actually. I went in wanting like a full dye. I wanted the Beyonce blonde forever. And that's exactly what I thought I was gonna get. But each time I walked into the salon, they let me know that it will damage your hair if you do this whole thing. Not to mention, I just have a lot of hair and they probably just got really scared, and that's understandable too. I don't want anyone doing my hair who doesn't feel comfortable doing my hair, like all of it. So of course, I did not get to dye my hair completely. And looking back, again, I'm so happy that they let me know this and that I didn't do it, because it would have been detrimental to the health of my hair, and I'm aware of that now. In order to get your hair, especially if you're starting off with your hair super dark, like mine is, it's nearly black at the roots, it would have taken so much bleach and processing just to get it to where it needed to be, that my hair, my curls, the integrity of my strands would have been compromised in a way that I wouldn't be comfortable, and I wouldn't have been happy with where it is now. It's definitely something to keep in mind. This is, again, not to say that you can't dye your hair like all of it in one go. That's probably possible, but probably just not the healthiest thing for your hair. So the fifth thing that I wish I knew before dyeing my hair is that your porosity could change. Honestly, now that I'm looking more into like the things that can change when you dye your hair, I realize that, yeah, your porosity can change. But back then, I did not concern myself with my porosity at all. I probably learned about 2 years ago what porosity was. And now that I'm figuring it out, I know that naturally my hair is low porosity, which means that it doesn't really let things penetrate very easily. Y'all should watch another video on that because I'm still learning myself. But after I dyed my hair, like for the first 2 months, it reacted fine. Once it bounced back, it reacted fine to my regular products and everything went on as normal. After that 2-month mark, I think, I realized that I was just shedding a lot of hair. My products weren't working as well. I needed more products sometimes to get the job done, and certain products just were not compatible anymore. And these were things that I was using for years and I couldn't put my finger on it until I read that dyeing your hair can change the porosity. So that prompted me to test the porosity of my black strands and my blonde strands, and I found out real quick that my blonde strands are now high porosity and my natural hair is low porosity. So that changed everything. I realized that the way I was doing my hair just wasn't compatible with what it was going through right now, what it is right now. The products I was using just weren't as compatible as they were before, and I needed to switch things up. I needed to be flexible, and I had to be prepared for that, and I wish I was prepared for that. And that gets me into my sixth thing that I wish I knew before dyeing my hair. I would have to change my hair routine. Now, I'm a person who likes things to be fairly consistent. I like stability. I like just to know what I'm gonna do and when I'm gonna do it and how it's gonna turn out. But once I dyed my hair, it just changed. Of course, my porosity changed. My curl pattern, you know, it changed a little bit. It bounced back a good amount, but it's slightly different. So I had to treat my hair differently. I had to learn again what worked well for me. That meant products, that meant routines, that meant wash day, all of it had to change up a little bit. I couldn't just skate by doing the bare minimum as I did with my virgin hair before chemically processing it, I couldn't do that anymore. I had to deep condition every weekend, no matter what. Even if I was tired, it had to get done, because if not, my hair was looking dry and brittle and frizzy, and it didn't work for me. So just keeping in mind that your hair routine has to change, and you really have to stick to it because it needs that extra care. Your hair is your baby now, and it's just a very fragile baby now. So make sure you're putting in exactly what you need to. You're doing your research, you're making sure you're testing out your products and not using what doesn't work and using what does work. The final thing that I wish I knew before dyeing my hair is that you should go to a stylist. Now, both times that I dyed my hair, I did go to a stylist, but I know that some people choose not to. Of course, this depends on just how much you know your hair, how much you know about hair in general, and some people just feel more comfortable with doing their own hair. But personally, I could not have dyed my hair by myself. And also, if you guys can, go to a curly expert. Go to a curly hair salon if you can afford it. I personally didn't because it was a little bit too pricey for me, but looking back, I should have waited a little bit until I had the money to go. Thankfully, the stylist that I went to, they had experience with curly hair. They both had curly hair themselves, so it just worked out for me. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you want to just make sure you have someone who's skilled in dyeing and in curly hair so that you're getting the best possible outcome, making sure that your hair remains as healthy as possible, because healthy hair is happy hair. Okay, so those were the 7 things that I wish I knew before coloring my hair. These are not meant to scare you guys off at all. I love my dyed hair. I love my color so much, and I would not trade it for anything. But I do wish that before I dyed it, I did a little bit more research so that I was prepared for more things. So that's all. Just make sure you're doing your research, make sure you're prepared for what could happen, make sure that you know what to do just in case things don't work out the way you want to, and it will be okay. It's still a hair journey. You just have to make sure that you are allowing yourself to have the best possible outcome. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!